Hey there, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Today I'm going to show you the last step in growing celery. Alright, well, I've got my celery here, and it's starting to get about a foot tall. It's about 3 weeks from when I want to harvest the celery. It probably could be a little bit larger, but I need to get it bound up. What we need to do is tie this celery up inside of a light-proof cylinder. It's called blanching. And blanching gives the celery that lighter colored stalk that is so good, the kind you get from the store. And if you just let your celery go like this, the stalks, they stay green and they can get bitter, or they can get a little bit overpowering in their flavor. I cooked with some of this the other night and it's got a very strong celery flavor. So I'm going to blanch it. I'm going to show you how to do that. What that does is causes these stalks to be protected from the light. And you know, if you put a piece of cardboard down on your lawn and you leave it there for a couple of weeks and pull it up, all that grass down there is no longer bright green. It's gone to white. It's gone yellow and white. That's because there's no photosynthesis going on. There's no chlorophyll there, and the plant will do all its photosynthesis with the leaves we leave out the top of the cylinder. Now, when you blanch your celery, you can use a number of methods. You can use newspapers, you can use cloth. I'm going to use cardboard today, and I'm going to show you how we do it. Now, here's a way I've found to help pre-curl your cardboard. Use the edge of a table and just put your cardboard over the edge and kind of bend it. And go along with the grain of the cardboard, and as you do, you can put these bends in it and it will naturally curl for you. It's a little bit easier than trying to bend this around without these pre-creased sections. It just makes life easier. And I'm all about doing less work. Work smarter, not harder. Isn't that what they say? And what we'll do is we'll cut these to size once we're in the yard and we have a good look at our celery. Alright, so what we can do now, see, it's a whole lot easier to roll this up. And we can cut our sections. I'll probably get 3 of them out of here. We can cut our sections out of this and wrap our celery. We're going to have some purple in the garden. Now, here's the deal about cardboard these days. A lot of people say you shouldn't put inks like this in your garden or in your compost because it can spoil or contaminate your garden. The reality is most inks today are soy-based inks. They're not oil-based, petroleum-based as they used to be. And I testify to this because I was a graphic designer for many, many years. And it was way back in the late 80s, early 90s that soy-based inks became common, and we use them all the time. So I'm not worried about this purple. It'll look nice in the garden, huh? Purple is a complementary color of green, so it should look quite nice. The first step is you want to get an idea of how high your cardboard cylinder needs to be. So I'll just take my celery here. I'll use this one as an example. And I'll grab it and bunch it up. And we can see this one has shorter stalks. So I'm probably going to want about 6 inches of cardboard that I can wrap around here. And you can see the leaves will come out the top. So we'll cut ourselves a 6-inch cylinder and bind this up into a bunch like that. I hope you can see that. So about like that. This is our pre-curled cardboard. I find it a lot easier to pre-curl the cardboard. That's not quite a straight line. There we go. That's a little better. So there we have our cardboard. I'm going to use tape to seal my cardboard. You don't have to use tape. Some people don't like the plastic in the garden. I don't care. It's less fiddly than, say, string. A lot of people use string. I'll put that tape on my jeans there to be ready. We'll gather this guy up into a bunch. Make sure I don't have leaves from that other plant over there. And we'll just wrap this up, just like so, in this cardboard. And once it's wrapped up, take that tape and slap it on there. I'm going to put another piece of tape around it just to be thorough. So let's just put another piece of tape around it just to be sure. All right, well, there's our first one. You can see the sun will not get to the stalks here, and so what will happen is those stalks will blanch. We're going to give it 3 weeks. 3 weeks is about the time you want to put your covers on your celery, 3 weeks before harvest. So it's about time. In 3 weeks' time, I want to remove some of these, and I will want to start preparing this bed for my spring crops. All right, so this one here, about the same height, so we need to cut ourselves a piece of cardboard about the same. All right, here we go. Gather up all of this bunch of celery into one little unit here. Some of these smaller ones down at the bottom you don't really have to worry about. I'm going to wrap it with our cardboard. There we go. We're going to take our tape and hopefully not get it bound up on itself and just wrap that around. There we go. I'm going to put another piece of tape on it just for security there. All right, there we go. We've got 2 blanching celeries now. It's just a matter of doing the rest of them. Let's move down. Well, I wasn't recording what I intended to record, but I went and got my box cutter. Make short work of these things. And I've cut these out, got them ready to go. Yeah, get a box cutter. They make these for a reason. They work really well. All right. Got a big guy here. Doesn't have to be super tight. Obviously, you're just black and white. All right, getting inside these over here is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I think I'm going to put some tape on my cardboard and see if I can do this without getting everything all messed up here. All right. Okay, here's what it looks like when we're done. You can see I missed a few leaves down at the bottom. That's okay. Got the majority of it. They're all bound up. That is 12 celery clusters. And in 3 or 4 weeks' time, we hope to take these cylinders off. And inside, what we hope to find is some nicely blanched celery. Looking forward to that. Growing celery from seed is what I hear rather difficult. I've never grown it. These celery starts were done by Bonnie Plants. I bought them at my big box store. They were real little. I showed you how I was going to plant those. That was the last section of my fall/winter garden to be planted. And I couldn't be happier. They're coming along just fine. They're growing without trouble, no disease pressure, no pest pressure. The freezes haven't touched them. We've got another freeze coming up this week, and what I'll do, I like my celery. I don't want to risk it. All this other stuff in the garden, I can risk a little frost damage. My celery, I'm going to put a blanket over it. I've got a frost blanket, and that should protect it. Celery's pretty frost hardy, so we should be in good shape for a harvest in 3 to 4 weeks. And I'll show you that harvest. I really like to also cook with what I grow in the garden, and sometimes I'll show you those videos. A lot of you like that. So yeah, there we go, blanching our celery. Man, it feels so nice today. It's beautiful outside. Good day to keep the windows open, doors open. So it feels like spring. Let's go take a look at the spring seedlings and see how they're progressing. Okay, here's our spring garden. A little warm up here. I'm going to turn this heat mat down. It is 88.2 degrees F. I like it to be 85 or under. Check out what we got going. Here's our tomatoes. These guys, the Dr. Whitecheese, did not come up. I do see some green in there that's not algae. Got a lot of algae growing on here because it's very humid. So I guess we're not going to get many Dr. Whitecheese, but we're going to get plenty of these, what are these? Beef steaks, and they have been planted together. We'll separate those out. Over here we've got our Morning Sun. We've got our Edox F2s, our F2s right here. Got our Edox F1s, and yeah, everything's coming up pretty well. Germination rate is not so great on these Edox right now. That's disappointing. Those are expensive seeds. Dr. Whitechee tomato, that was old seed, so oh well. Alright, so that's the tomatoes. About time to take that humidity dome off. Start lifting it up little by little to acclimatize the plants to no humidity. Here's my single seed challenge. Fish pepper, no sign of life yet. So we'll see. Down here I've got all my peppers. This is the one with the thermometer in it. And look at that. On most of these peppers, I've got almost 100% germination rate. That's encouraging. So, we've got Ancho Poblanos, Mountain Roaster, Jedi Jalapenos, Red Flame Cayenne. We've got a bell over there and another bell in the back there. So, yeah, those are doing really well. Love me some peppers. So that's a little update on what's going on in the spring garden. Stick that probe down in the soil there. I think I'm going to turn off my heat mat for now. You can also see that I've got some seeds coming up in this manure-based compost. This is a bioassay that I've been doing on some new materials I've got. I will talk about this very shortly, but so far it's encouraging. I need to see some true leaves before I know that this manure is not tainted with aminopyrrolate herbicide. Well, hey, thank you for joining me today on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. I learned something by watching videos and learn how to grow celery. I hope my channel can help you learn how to grow your own celery as well. Thanks. Please subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook and Instagram. Talk to you later. Happy gardening to you. Bye-bye.